No.
What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling today, man? What's up with y'all, man? Hey, all my people now watching, what's up with everybody out there? This is our first episode. Only the Real podcast. I know it took us a minute to get this out here, but we finally out here.
Are you really recording? Okay.
Yes, we're recording, and we're going to keep rocking. Let's go. Starting off, it's your boy, one and only, Too Real, Never Be Phony, the nigga Don. You already know.
He really just
Who else? Fellas, come on.
He wrote that shit down. He definitely wrote that shit down.
Nah, I rehearsed it. I was an hour late.
It's Tyler. Everybody call me Ty. Big Ty.
It's the Lieutenant Dre Boogie on the mic. You already know, in full effect.
Hi, I'm Brandon. Fuck.
Also, was an hour late.
Fuck
yes,
you.
sir. All right, so I know it's been taking us a minute, fellas, to get this stuff together. We finally here through a lot of talks and meetings to finally get this first episode going on. We can't be together physically with each other because Corona is still here in the midst of everything else that's going on. But first off, starting off, how do you all feel your life has changed, or what's the new norm for you since, Corona, took over the world?
Besides the fact that they done took every rim off of every goal and going through basketball withdrawal, shit.
Man, nigga.
I'm waiting for this shit to be over with.
Patience.
Nah,
I'm just saying patience. Like this shit told me patience. You gotta. Sometimes you need to sit down.
I feel like it would be different for us if we could go hoop outside. It would be completely different if they didn't take all the rims down, because it's like we already can't go to the court. We already can't go to the gym and go hoop, but it's like we can't even go to the courts. Like,
I wish I worked at like a fucking rec, or I was like a programmer or something, like a coordinator. I had the keys, and we'd be in that bitch just balling, like just having a ball. Wouldn't miss a beat. I'd be looking like Mikey Williams with y'all niggas, man.
We gotta go undefeated on the summer league and all that. Then if we don't hit that much time,
that's a whole nother stuff.
Right, relax.
But nah, on a serious note though, there's been a lot though having to adjust for me. Just being in the house, you do find out a lot more about yourself, the stuff you're good at, how much bad shit you eat, how good or how bad you can cook or you do cook, how much money you save when you don't go out, how much time you spend on the game, you play new games, you listen to new music, you do all types of shit. You might take a shower for like an hour to burn the time, be coming out looking like some rusty ass Pringles, but it's just it's been a lot for me personally. But I'm used to it now. It's a new norm. I don't mind being by myself.
I don't mind being in the house now as much. I don't mind being by myself anyway, but just being in the house, I don't really like. I've been sitting there for months.
For me, more so, I've just become more creative over the time, like being in the house. Like, other than going to work for work, I've been having more time to myself, so I just been letting my mind like roam and wander. So a lot of like stuff just becoming like a lot easier. I've been cooking a lot more, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I got a skill coming out of quarantine. I could just, I've been a girl, I've been cooking. Like, I feel like a lot of good things have happened. Also, it's bad stuff like not being able like to see my family as much as I want, my friends, like do the stuff I like to do, like go out and stuff. But I think it has made a lot of us realize not only like what you said, not only realize stuff about ourselves, but we also just pay attention to a lot of other things that's going on. So, COVID-19 has been a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I know before all this happened, I was trying to figure out. I think I was having a conversation with Ty like a little bit before this happened. I was like, I wish it was a way I could take a vacation without it touching my PTO. And then literally all of this happened, and I've been like resting and stuff at home. So I think that's the biggest thing.
So everybody should be fully healed, no injuries, healthy mind, stay mentally refreshed.
I'm mentally ready to go back to work. Like I've been resting. I got all my rest and stuff like that. But it's like working with kids, I feel like you needed that. But now it's like I'm
you ain't mentally ready to hoop or physically ready to hoop. You just work that little soldier, that little.
But y'all know who need to start getting mentally and physically prepared to hoop?
Who?
The NBA.
Well, yeah, because they coming back. How y'all feel about this though? Real talk.
Yeah.
How y'all feel about these niggas
I'm a
coming
Heat
back?
fan. I'm a Heat fan for this last season.
Well, I actually think it's well. See, when you think about it, things have to get back on track somehow, and we have to do it as safely as possible. Mm-hmm. Their plan works. They found a city that's gonna be their location. They laid out a format. They got the plans. They voted on it as a league. Some people don't agree with it. Some people do, but it's just like at the end of the day, UFC has already started fighting again. Like they just have empty arenas. They're fighting, boxing back. Like everybody's finding a way to get their sport
Tyson
back.
Fury and Joshua, man.
Yeah, I'm saying. So it's just like at the end of the day, the NBA is doing what they're doing so they can save revenue not only for the league but for other teams. I agree with it.
Hey.
I miss basketball. Yeah, it's not gonna be no fans, but I think that's gonna be a different, fun experience. Just hear them just going at it like niggas talking. Yeah. Oh, bow! I'm dropping your ass off. You better guard me or something like that. It's gonna be nice to hear that.
Well, what's the final supposed to happen? Isn't it like some around now?
Yeah. What time? It's like June 8th, 9th?
Finals, yeah. Finals
the
supposed to be starting Sunday.
It starts Sunday. They usually start on the 12th. It's supposed to be over by like the 17th or 19th.
That's what? Who are you talking about?
We talking about like
if it was regular season, if it was like regularly going, yeah. But no, real talk. I feel like Adam Silver should get more respect for the stuff that he's been doing though. Yeah, as far as like overall and just being like the leader of the NBA. Like he's been really addressing a lot of stuff and knocking down a lot of stuff with the quickness. Like with him banning like people for racial slurs in Utah, and then how he handling the virus and how he handling racial issues and stuff. He really don't wait until like the NFL or MLS or anybody else say anything. He on it like that. So
I mean, you can tell he got mad respect for his players.
I mean, what 80% of the NBA is black.
Okay, look, let's
read the room. You got to read the room. Just recognize you got black players.
Facts,
they all stop playing, and the NFL. If all the black players stop playing, there ain't no league. The NFL and the NBA is done. It ain't enough. It ain't enough milkmans. Milkmans don't exist no more. There ain't enough mailmen no more. We just took over the mailman position too. Who deliver your mail? A black person? I ain't seen no white mail person in years.
Let's save these topics for the next segment.
I mean, I was trying to see who y'all thought was going to secure the AC in the East and
on what side?
We can start with one. What's your pick for whichever side?
For the West?
On the West?
Portland.
And just give a brief explanation why.
Yeah.
Why
you say Portland? Why you said Portland?
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah, you said Portland.
I thought Ty said Portland.
No, Don thought Brandon was going to say Portland.
Okay.
No, I wasn't about to say Portland.
I said Portland. That's just my pick. I mean.
Why you pick Portland?
Dang Lillard. That's it.
Duh. I'm going Portland too.
But like I told y'all earlier, I say either Portland or Pelicans. Then that's the only two I could see that. Yeah.
They definitely have a deep team. They have a solid team.
Yeah, I was about to say my AFC is probably the Pelicans simply because I feel like they got way more star power as far as like what's going to be on that floor with Zoe. I mean, you got Zoe, bruh. Compared to what Ja got.
Finish.
Go ahead, bro. I'm not arguing nobody. Go ahead.
Man. I just feel like as far as like help wise, like Ty was saying, like that bench is deep, but at the same time, you got BI and Zion basically putting up 23, 24. Even though Zion shit was a small sample size, like he still had quality ass games in that sample size. Now, I don't necessarily know if he's going to be in shape, but as far as, like, who they got on that team, like, them first, 8 players, they could do something for real at that 8 spot. I think they get swept, whoever they play. They play the Lakers. They getting swept, bro. I don't know. They might win one. I don't know. But I feel like the Pelicans might get that 8 spot.
Hey, you remember when Dame was on that tear and he was dropping like 40, 50, 60? He went to LA with Bron and AD and he dropped like
56,
45.
I believe. I thought it was 50.
Like 56, and they lost.
It was an emotional night. Like, look.
I mean, I get that. No,
you talking about the one with Kobe at this pass?
Yeah, when Kobe died.
It's emotional. Everybody mind out there, bro. It's different. Playoff time is different.
So nobody had the mama mentality that night but Damian Lillard. All right, that makes sense.
I'm not saying nobody did.
He the only one, right?
But we done healed to some degree, and they done had all these players done had so much time to just rest off their injuries and stuff.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but I also think that's a bad thing to be so. Like, being off for so long, you have to get back in, like, game shape. You have to get back, like, some of them have gyms, some of them been working out, but it's like you haven't been playing top-tier competition.
All of them.
You've been playing against – yeah, you just been working out, keeping your muscle, keeping yourself in shape. But it's like once you get on that court, I mean, I'll talk about who I think is going to, like, has chances to win once we get there.
I'm sorry. He had 48. Yeah, 48.
Yeah, 48. I just think it's a positive and it's negatives. Like, it's pros and cons. Like, yes, you have all the time off. You got your body to rest. You got injured players. They got time to get back right and get back.
So you taking Dame?
I'm going Memphis or Portland. Memphis because they have the youth. So I feel like when they come back, yeah, they run. I feel like any team that can run when they come back has a big chance to make it far. If your team is older and you got to set up more stuff and you can't really run, like if you got a young team, like the Pelicans, for example, the Pelicans.
It sounds like you're talking about the Kings. I hate you talking about the Kings.
The Kings run too, but I only say Memphis and Portland because Damian Lillard said he not coming back unless he get a chance to play. So that just lets me know his mentality is I'm hooping every game. I'm going to drag us there.
Yeah,
then with Memphis, John Morant, like this is his first year, and for him to be an AC in the West, it's just like he got a chip on his shoulder to not only get them there, but to make sure that they win. So it's just like I feel like Memphis or Portland is going to do it because they have that one guy who's going to push them there.
And I know I already said the Pelicans, but now that I'm thinking about it too, I forgot they got Josh Jackson on that team too. They got a lot of switchable players on that team too, that Grizzlies team. And then if say, for instance, you run like a small ball lineup with Jaren Jackson at the 5, you put Brandon Clark. You put Brandon Clark at the floor. I can't get my words out. You put Brandon Clark at the 4 and Jaren Jackson at the 5, where, Valanciunas can't really slide laterally and stuff like that. I don't know. Only reason, but that's why I said it's kind of hard to pick between them two young teams with the Pelicans and the Grizzlies simply because, like, the Pelicans was low-key going on a little tear, though, before the season, like, ended. Like, Zion was putting up numbers, bro. B.I. was putting up numbers. And we forget, too, B.I. was coming back from injury as well.
And all-star. I mean, New Orleans has a star player, which is Brandon Ingram. They have that star scorer. So, I mean, they do have that player. But, I mean, when playoffs come, you keen on that. You make game plans for players like that.
But you got to.
You can say we shut down him, make everybody else beat us. I mean, they play the Lakers. Zion not getting off like that on Anthony Davis, so that's cool and all. But
I mean, it depends. But that's why I said it depends on how you plan them. Say, for instance, they run Jackson Hayes instead of Derek Favors, right? I'm more of like Jackson Hayes over Derek Favors anyway because he's way more athletic. He moves laterally, like. He can recover more space than Derek can, and he snags rebounds. Like Derek is bigger than him, so he'll be able to bang down low with Dwight or if they run JaVale. But you talking about running a lineup with Zion, you got Zion and B.I. That's your 2 stars right there. Then you got Zoe.
Hold up, fine.
Zoe and Drew Holiday.
Are we answering what's the 8th seed, or are we answering who won have a potential like winning slot to go to the championship?
I'm saying with
the conversation shifted. So now y'all comparing to the Lakers and all this other stuff. Like we talking about just making.
I still think the Lakers will win it all. I was just talking about the 8th seed. I feel like the Lakers.
What about the East? We ain't talking about the East. We talking about the West all day. Hey, look,
I'm gonna let Bradley Beal work.
I think if the Wizards catch heat, yes, they can steal the 8th seed from the Magic. Now, that the Nets don't have neither one of their star players, so Caris LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, all of them gonna have to carry them. I don't know if they're a young team as well. But I don't know, coming back off this hiatus, are they going to be able to get that chemistry they had when they was just playing with Dinwiddie and LeVert and all them, and they was figuring it out without Kyrie and KD? I don't know if they can win that many games, but I feel like if they can just play team ball, then they could, get there. But, I mean, it's a waste of time for them because they don't have neither one of their stars. So it's like that would be a wasted spot for them. They would just play Raptors and get
neither one of their bigger stars. They have stars. I like LeVert. I like Dinwiddie. They stars in their own.
I feel like the Magic will get that AC simply because they're deeper and they have a better front court with Valanciunas. You got Aaron Gordon. You got Mo Bamba coming off the bench.
You got Markelle, young dog.
What I say, Valanciunas? I'm thinking about.
I can't skip over Markelle like that.
But yeah, I was talking about the front court. I wasn't talking about the back court. But I'm just saying they got big bodies that's gonna snag boards and do what they gotta do. I feel like Brad could do it if he had.
He averaging 30,
but
30 something.
The Wizards don't have. The Wizards don't have enough. They don't have enough, bro. Like I don't feel like they have enough. Like
they don't have enough.
That bench is not gonna get you over the top, like at all. They got Ish Smith coming out the bench. Like that shit not about to do.
And all finished to Ish Smith when he was with Detroit, he was giving the Wizards buckets.
That's fine. He can give buckets all day, but
who y'all got winning the whole thing? Like
winning the whole thing?
Yeah,
I say I want Giannis to win personally, but I feel like this season is the best window for Bron to get a ring. Why I keep talking like that? This is the best window for Bron to get this shit, bro. Simply because he has the better bench, better front court. You got dogs down there, like Dwight doing what he got to do. JaVale playing like an actual NBA player. Niggas forget Dion Waiters can come back and drop 11 a game. Niggas forget they got Dion on the squad. Like KCP, they bullied that nigga into shooting better. Like Caruso actually can play. I feel like Caruso should take Rondo minutes. I'm gonna just be honest. Like I feel like Caruso should take Rondo minutes based on how they played in the regular season. Now we all know playoff Rondo is a completely different monster. But do we know we gonna get playoff Rondo? So
you always get playoff Rondo.
I'm just saying, but
that's true too.
Always.
I'm just saying.
Even when his team got swept, the man was cooking.
But
before he got hurt for the Bulls, he was cooking.
I know, but I'm just saying, even when you get playoff Rondo, you still get some form of regular season Rondo. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see some of that in the regular season. And as somebody that's watched Rondo when he played for the Bulls, like, you still saw flashes that this season, like, Rondo was poo. I've seen Rondo blow leads, not just specifically on Rondo, but I've seen Rondo, like, blow leads or fuck up this shit before it happened. Like, what?
Did he leave?
No. I don't think he stepped off for a second. I think he cooking.
Okay.
But
well, let that be a transition. 100 mil over 10 years.
What's going on?
What happened? Did you want to stop talking? Did you pause?
Nah, he just paused.
We can't hear you.
Having technical difficulties.
I'm about to be sick. We were just talking like shit.
It says recording.
Oh, okay, my bad. I didn't know. That's why when y'all kept talking, I thought y'all was just doing it for free because he had stepped up. But I guess
I know I can repeat it.
Yeah, it definitely no.
What happened?
We catted like we're going in depth like about the sports. Like we're going really in depth. Like we really express some topics. If we gonna like spend less time, we don't need to like sit there in that topic because like we're gonna like we could talk all day about this shit. Like I promise you, we gotta kind of move through it.
Fine, we still recording, fam.
Oh my bad.
Fuck.
What are y'all doing? Why y'all ain't just keep?
Well, he said 100 mil over 10 years.
I said 100 mil over 10 years.
Who?
Michael Jordan.
I'm not gonna speak on that.
Man, look, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Look, y'all, I had to go
not?
get something out the oven. I had to go get my food, so that's why I stepped off.
Nah, what kind of food you gotta get out the oven, fam?
I made some I had some pause. I had some turkey meat, some ground meat that was already out. Yeah, I said pause though, my nigga. Don't do that to me. Look, I cook better than you. You want to eat my food though? Pause. Damn. Hold on.
Wow.
No,
wow.
I had some little. I had to jerk. I mean, I had to put the jerk on it, like put the jerk sauce on it. I made some jerk turkey meatballs and I'm cooking asparagus. That's on the back. So 100 mil, Michael Jordan. What do we think? Over 10 years, I think it's a good gesture, especially since people say he don't talk about
He
anything,
don't care
about black
people. He don't do nothing.
I think that's a good gesture, though.
I appreciate the gesture. I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked seeing it. That's why I said, I was just like, oh, okay.
Well, it's Michael Jordan and Jordan Brand, so just remember that's bigger than.
I feel like, honestly, I just feel like that was a PR move because of like what Jordan has done in the past related to just racial issues in general. So I feel like somebody was just like, you need to do this because you need to do this. Like,
or he could have wanted to.
I don't know.
It's always gonna be speculations. Everybody gonna feel like that. Everybody gonna feel like Kanye stuff might be a PR move or stuff. It's just you don't know what people good intentions or not. Just be grateful for what we got. Whether it is or not, it's gonna be
I'm grateful
to change stuff. I ain't gonna speculate into whether it's a PR move or not. Just take it. Thank you.
How I feel about it is, I mean, I talked to y'all about this before. I don't feel like Michael Jordan is for us, but at the same time, I had the time to think about it. Sometimes, like, I'm gonna think about it in a positive way. He opened his eyes. He came to his senses. He sees what's going on. He sees who buys most of his shoes. He sees all these things. He's like, you know what? Let me support, my own people, because at the end of the day, like, not only does that affect him and his kids and their, his grandkids. Like, you gotta think about it. He's not gonna be here forever. His kids not gonna be here forever. But the generation after them, they gotta live in this world. So I figured he finally just thought, you know what? Let me do what I gotta, let me do something, that'll help. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not the case, it just proves what everybody thought about Michael Jordan. He doesn't really care about his own people. You know what I'm saying? He's part of that billionaire club that just lives in their own world. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just really think it's a great gesture. I hope it's for the right reasons. I hope it's not just so that he could save face. We all hope it's not that. But at the end of the day, we gotta understand. Sometimes people can change. People make mistakes in the past, but we shouldn't keep judging them off that. We all human. We all make mistakes. And if he's doing something now, I think we should at least give him the benefit of the doubt until shown different.
That's true.
I appreciate what
I'm
Michael Jordan did.
gonna definitely give him the benefit of the doubt, but just like I always said, like what I was saying before we started talking, about this whole topic, like not just Jordan, but with anybody when it comes to these, racial issues, or if anybody, is, any type of police brutality issue that it goes viral, we talk about it for 2 weeks, and then everybody want to donate, shit start happening, and then it's like after that, poof, we done talking about it. My biggest thing is like, what the fuck is we gonna do after this? Like, what are you gonna do after this? After you done donated, like, are you gonna start, I guess, building some type of activist type style work or something? Like, what are you gonna do after all of this dies down? Because as we know, like everything and anything related to just social media in general, it's like a fad. It goes up and then it goes down. And once we're done talking about it, are we going to continue talking about it? Or is it going to continue to stay in certain circles? And the only way you hear about it is if you follow Hotep Twitter or fucking Black Lives Matter Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to actively follow these circles in order to keep the conversation going. Like, that's you're the most... Like,
but that's how everything works, though. Everything works like that.
Yeah,
you can't just put that to that. Everything works like that, though. I mean,
well, I'm saying it more for him because of his past, and that's why I'm kind of piggybacking on what Dre is talking about. Like what Dre said. Okay, in the past he's made mistakes. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. But now you have so-called seen the light or know what it is you need to do. What are you going to continue to do after to remake everything that you've done or said publicly in the past? Because Jordan has said some wild shit in the past and done some wild shit in the past related to his own kind. It's just like, okay.
So have a lot of other black people.
Yeah. I mean, just to kind of piggyback off that.
No, we still support. Well, some people still support, and some people still.
No, we're going to be talking about us as black that we still support and that we won't stop supporting, whether we don't like them as a person, but we like their clothes or their music or their whatever
Food.
they're giving out, their electronics or whatever, food.
Yeah, that's
Still
true.
going to support.
I mean, I just to say something real quick about that whole Michael Jordan thing. I think also the fact that his documentary did just come out, I think it has not only put him back in a spotlight,
Mm-hmm.
but it has also introduced him to a lot of younger people. So a lot of people probably heard of Jordan, they probably wore his shoes and stuff, but they probably never really seen him play, looked at highlights,
Not
or know who
probably.
he is.
Everybody's heard of Jordan.
Probably haven't. I gotta be devil's advocate. But I
His
think
shoes
it's
is
just
everywhere.
the fact
Everybody
that
knows Jordan.
that came out, and then it's the fact that he did that. I think it gives like a younger generation a kind of a different face or a different identity of who he is from what they
Mhm.
saw, what they heard. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's also something that could
Which
be a
I,
part of why he did that too.
which is why I appreciate Jordan a little bit more after watching The Last Dance. That I've watched the complete thing, all the episodes. It kind of.
Jordan.
You watch the Last Dance. You watch the Last Dance like
I
two
mean,
times a day.
that's my favorite thing to watch on TV. But fuck Jordan,
You're wilding.
LeBron. Thank you. Go ahead.
He's wilding. Speaking of social
Well,
injustices,
we
I
got
mean,
a
that's a
crazy
great
world
segue.
going on, all this stuff going on, you know. I know everybody, you're just ignorant if you're not up to date or paying attention to what's going on in the world right now. With all four of us being black men, you know, men of color in today's society, you know, we've been seeing a bunch of disturbing videos that are quite frankly really hard to watch, of our people getting abused and killed and murdered on camera, because you know everything we record is on camera now, and you know the whole world. I think the crazy thing about everything right now is that this is the first time of like all this, like us being oppressed as black people and sticking up, that it seems like the whole world is following suit and protesting with us. Like first we got all 50 states doing the protest, then we even got New Zealand and London and Paris and all these different places in Europe and all these different stuff, like Australia. We got places rooting for us and, you know, supporting us, and they're not even over here to experience it. So I think that's a great thing right now. But what do you all think about the times that's going on? It's very crazy right now.
I'm gonna tell you. You go first, and then I'm gonna go after you, and Brandon can go last because Brandon's been having a lot to say about this. So I'm gonna let Brandon go last because he probably wanted the most to say.
you said how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited that that it seemed like changes. We at the corner, like we're about to make a turn. I'm excited, but I'm also disappointed that we had to lose another human to get that change. So I ain't gonna say I'm on the fence about it. Like people forget that protesters and rioters are two different groups. People look at the protesters or rioters, and at night everybody riots when that's not the case, and it's kind of frustrating. Just looking at it and following. I haven't been, actively out there because all this coronavirus stuff going on. I prefer not to stay inside to keep safe, not get sick, make sure the people around me don't get sick. But of course, I've been actively following. I've donated and things like that. I've did my part. I tried my part in stepping forward. But I'm excited for change. I'm excited to see new things, new legislation, I'm excited to see what's to come, because I know it got to be positive after all this.
Yeah, like just like you were saying, it's definitely been nice to really see that this is not something that came about for a week or two and people forgot about it or they went back to their normal lives. And even though Corona is outside, I think the fact that you still see people out there protesting, but they're still wearing safe, like they're wearing masks and stuff, they're being safe. I think that just goes to show you that this is a lot different, because even during a pandemic, we finally have the courage to stand up and change, like, and continuously keep it going, wanting to change the system, not just saying, let's do this, let's do that. Like the New York governor, Cuomo, they actually just passed a bill called the Eric Garner Chokehold Act, I believe. So like they banned police officers from even using chokehold restraints or even being able to put like their knee on somebody's neck, like with the George Floyd situation. So I think that's very great progress. And also with the Minneapolis Police Department, they defunded their police department, which basically means that money goes to education, so schools. It goes more to like health workers, stuff like that. So like the money is spread out amongst more things that'll help the communities and the cities, and like in rural urban areas where they can build more recreation centers or parks and stuff like that. So I think that's another great step that we're making, and it's all coming from us actually standing up for change and not just sitting there and forgetting about it or letting it pass by. Because I'm not saying everybody's that way. We have people that's been fighting, they keep fighting. From Trayvon Martin's mother running, for man her city. That's big, and it's like people behind her, and it's like the more we keep protesting, speaking up, and showing unity and solidarity, the more that the people who that run these countries, that make these laws, they'll start to see, what, let's listen. We just need them to listen. It's like we got the attention. Now let's say what we need to say. Let's do what we need to do so we cannot have to keep going through this. Because at the end of the day, yes, we have been treated disrespectfully. We have been slaves. We have been treated worse than rats. So it's just like now is the time to keep going, keep pushing. It's a big shift and a big change, but it's for the best. And it's not going to be the easiest thing, but if you want something, you're going to work hard enough and you're going to push out there hard enough till you get it. So I just think that everything that's going on is really big and great step for the future.
So
I thought it was your go.
It's your go. He already left. He started off.
Go ahead. No, he's on. Oh, I ain't really got
like I was saying, I had already made a video about it. I put it on my Instagram. So if anybody want to watch it, that's still, it's gonna stay on my Instagram because I felt like that's what I was feeling at the time when I, went to the riots and stuff like that. Kind of similar to
riots or protest. To the protest.
The riots, Jesus Christ. The protest, I'm sorry. Me going to the protest was just it was a learning experience, but also it was mentally different. Like I said in my Instagram videos, a close friend of mine passed from a similar situation, police violence. And so mentally, just the mindset that I was in, seeing another person, killed from police violence, it just put me in a different mindset. And my biggest thing, having conversations with you guys or having conversations with, our friend group or whatever, it's just like Dre was saying, what do we do after this? How do we impact other people to continue this? Because me going to the protests, I'm looking around and I'm seeing everybody taking pictures and everybody, kumbaya and shit. And I'm just looking at y'all. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, are we really out here to be out here? Are we really out here protesting someone's life? Or are we out here trying to get a photo op? You know what I'm saying? And that's my biggest thing, because I feel like, we hold social media to such a high category. It controls anything and everything we do. Like, you can't see people can't normally, help the homeless without pulling their phone out and recording it and putting it on Instagram. Like, you can't do something nice by giving somebody some money without screenshotting it and putting it on your Twitter or something. Like, it's just the influence. What's up?
My bad. Sometimes like people do that to encourage other people to do it. Like, they're not doing it to show their self off. They're doing it like, I'm going to help the homeless, and I want to post pictures of me giving it to the homeless to encourage other people to give to the homeless as well. Just giving you a different perspective, so you won't think, people just doing it for, like you said, a photo op attention. Just giving you a different perspective.
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, I feel like when it comes to certain situations like that, people, that's the first thing that they think about. Like, I've volunteered at mission places. Like I've fed the homeless before. Like I've done all that, but I don't have pictures of none of that because I don't feel like it's necessary to be taking pictures of that. Like you're doing good work. All right, be content in the work that you do. If you wanna, I guess get people involved in doing it, then tell them. But going back to what I was initially saying, just the overall vibe of what I was seeing at the protest, it just didn't feel like a protest. And so my biggest thing is I want Black people in general to take this time to really educate themselves as to what's going on in the world. But at the same time, like Dre was saying, light that fire up under you to where you can pass that fire on to the next person. You can just keep this shit going because as we can see in the 3 weeks that people have been protesting, like a lot of shit has changed. Like regardless of if we want to call it a riot or we want to call it, people acting crazy, regardless of what the fuck happened, change still came out of this 3 weeks of protest. Like change came, and that's 3 weeks. What are we gonna do in 6 weeks? What are we gonna do in 12 weeks? Like it should be a continued conversation, and we should not take our foot off the gas because if we get to a point where we can nationwide, which I doubt, but I pray that nationwide we can defund the police and actually put this money into recreation centers and other things that could potentially help our youth. Like that would be so much that would be so much powerful than what it is that we're doing now. Like I saw something that was saying that New York Police Department is up to like what $1 billion in funding. Like what the hell you need $1 billion for your police department? So it's just certain stuff like that. I will also say, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna leave it alone. I am learning a lot more. Um, I appreciate I appreciate the aspect of social media that's connecting us to other people that know more than we do. Simply because like I'm learning new things that probably would never be in my history books that people are retweeting and just adding little notions and stuff like that. So I think that's lit that people are bringing all this information because normally speaking, you always see this stuff around February when it's Black History Month. People try to put that information in it, but you go on Twitter and you find information about everything. So I thought that was pretty dope.
It's just crazy, real quick. It's just real crazy that you say that about like defunding the police everywhere, putting it back into communities, which we should. It's just kind of crazy to think because Don, you was talking about how they was gonna cut y'all budget for the next school year. It's just kind of crazy to me that like I get it, everything that's going on like coronavirus wise, that a lot of people having to like close stores or cut certain budgets for a certain fiscal year and stuff like that. I understand that. Yeah, I guess I understand that, but it's just kind of crazy to think that people, like a lot of police officers are, well, it's a lot of people that's like against us defunding the police, but at the same time, it's like we defund education all the time, and it's like people speak out about it, but it's not so big to the forefront as defunding the police is, and it's like defunding the police would actually put more money into the community, the schools' pockets, so that young Black kids like ourselves have better books, better equipment, better laptops, better, more space, like better schooling. You know what I'm saying? They get better teachers, they get better stuff if we would put more money into education. But at
not
the same
even
time,
better
it's like,
teachers. I didn't mean to cut you off, but not even better teachers, just funding the teachers that do the work. Like I remember working in the school system, like in DC public schools, there's a lot of teachers that put in overtime and overtime on top of the overtime and are severely underpaid. So it's like that could be another option as well, like putting more money in these teachers' pockets. So there's a lot of teachers that do more than they're asked for and they're severely underpaid, bro. And it don't make no sense, bro. It don't. Like at all.
So let me ask y'all a question. On the opposite side of the spectrum, what are we gonna do when you defund all the police departments in the United States, and we still have black on black crime going on? Don't act like that's going away since the protest. I get reports every night it's a shooting, a stabbing, or something every night in our Black communities and neighborhoods that's not involving the police. So what are we gonna do when LA needs to stop a big gang war or something like that because they go back to fighting again, or you have a big shootout and 10 people get shot on a block? And like, what I'm saying is, what if we take so much money away from the police and the good ones? Because not all police are bad. I know there's a lot going on. It's hard to weed out the good and the bad. But the ones that are trying to help us in certain neighborhoods, or even the black cops that are trying to help us in certain neighborhoods, they don't have the money and the funding, and the department says no. Then what are we going to be at in the next 10 years? Like, then that can cause a ripple effect, and then we got a whole nother situation.
I'll say this. Oh, okay, you go. My fault.
Like, I'm not gonna front you. That's not something that police can stop, because at the end of the day, that's a mentality that's been passed down through generations. That's something that needs to be broke by us.
I'm not trying to stop. I'm not trying to stop it. No, you missing it. I'm not trying to stop.
I mean, but I'm just saying, it's no point of you saying, like, it's no point of us trying to say, like, that's something deeply rooted in Black communities. Like, that's not, you know,
it's not. It's something that people do. It's not nothing in your genes.
Okay, so
nothing in your genes that tell you that you had to go do that.
But okay, I get what you're saying.
It's not part. It's not even. I wouldn't even say it's part of our culture.
Okay, so that's my point. If you grow up in a certain environment and that's all you see, what you gonna do? That, right? Or you gonna break the curse? You gonna break it and go the opposite route? But it's all about where you grow up. It's the nature versus nurture debate all the time. It's about where you grow up, what you see that affects your mentality. Mental health is a big thing in Black communities.
Or it's gonna be how your parents raise you.
Because regardless,
a goal of any
that's
parent.
That's what he mean with the nature versus nurture.
I agree. I agree with that, but it is also like you're gonna always want your child to have way better than what you had. You don't want to have them easier than what you had. I don't think any person would say, "I want you just because we live here doesn't mean." I mean, just because we live here, that means you gotta go get the money the same way people outside do. Like maybe I don't get what you're saying. Maybe I'm missing.
Okay. I'm just saying this real quick. Before, like after the 60s, once all the civil rights movement and stuff was like kind of coming to like a tail end, when it was like deeply racism, like we wasn't getting rights to vote and all that, we was fighting for that. And once we got into the 70s, that's when like the cocaine era stuff was coming in, like the crack and stuff, like that stuff started getting pushed in neighborhoods and stuff. We were put, like, if you pay attention to the kind of communities were set up, they were pushing Black people into these communities. They were pushing the dope and the crack into these communities, like, you know what I'm saying? They was you know what I'm saying? So we had started going against each other since then. Like after all the civil rights and stuff was going on, that's when we started really being against each other. So when I say generational curse, it really is because.
How can you just say that's when we started going against each other? None of us were alive back then to know what Black on Black crime happened.
I mean, that's not necessarily. I'm just saying in the sense of like we still bring each other down versus building each other up. Yes, now you know we pay attention to the news. Yes, we all out there, we protest and stuff like that. That's great. Yes, people are still getting robbed. They still getting killed. Y'all just posted the thing about the young lady getting shot. And it's like 41 shell casings, so it might have been more than one shooter. Now, I'm not saying that's every example, but I'm just saying why, you know, she did something or something happened where that you know that situation took place, and it's just like why, like what made them want to do that? And it's like why you couldn't talk it out before you got there, or why y'all couldn't problem solve a different way before you got there. It's people are raised on dog eats dog mentality. So if somebody from another, you know what, that's another time for another.
So what I'm trying to connect is Brandon asking what's the next step. So I think yes, we need more steps in terms of making sure that there's no more police brutality and everything. But at the same time, we need to, as Black people as a whole, we're going to stand together completely and go against the oppressors. We need to hold each other accountable for when your brother get killed on the street, your cousin gets killed on the street. We go rob somebody for their car, a Black person that worked hard, took the right route, didn't do nothing wrong, but we want to go steal from our Black brothers that do the right thing. We need to start doing the wrong stuff and sit together so we can make the change. The more we keep doing fucked up shit, the more we give fuel to the fire for the police and the oppressors to look at us and say, oh, these are some disrespectful ass people. They don't give a fuck about each other. They
don't need what we got to offer.
No, Sarah, I'm not talking to you. Damn, bitch. Shut up.
Gonna go off on
that's what I was trying to say.
I get it. Defunding the police, it can have.
Which I do agree with. I do agree with that.
It can have its positive and negative effects. Positively, it can be, like I said, more community service, more after school activities, more geared toward more educational things, geared toward more recreational things. Cool. But also taking, like you said, the negative effects of defunding the police. What if they don't have enough equipment to get where they need to go when they need to go?
For the right reasons. For the
right reasons. Stuff. Yeah, it definitely is. Both fans. Everything has its pros and its cons. But I think defunding the police has more pros than cons.
Like, I'm gonna let it be known. Like, I'm on like the side of Tupac. I don't know if everybody ever heard. Like, he never said he don't like cops. Even though we say fuck the police, we're not talking about every police officer. I don't like certain cops. I don't like the crooked cops, the dirty ones, the ones that don't do their job right. If you're a person that go out there, I don't like anybody that doesn't do their assigned job duties the right way. If you're taking your job and using the power of your job to do it in a negative way and impact people in negative ways and make people cry and hurt and do all this grimy shit, then I don't like you. So good police are needed in some places. That's a simple fact. I know that we know we on the fuck the police wave, which I still am, but fuck the bad police.
I actually have a few police officers that I like that I've seen that kind of I would say grow with me from where I live.
I do too. I've had a couple of them that
we
used to check up on me that didn't even fucking have to. Like, just to know how it did from elementary school to middle school to high school, even college. And these are white officers. I'm not saying every white person is bad. I had a couple officers my grandmother knew that was really friendly. My grandmother used to help make sure that the crime rate around the neighborhood used to go down, lock up whatever dealings and all the drugs and stuff that was going on, that she report stuff like that, and made sure that I was okay growing up, so that the neighborhood I grew up in, I didn't get shot in, or I didn't get stabbed or robbed and all this extra stuff.
Or hurt.
That doesn't happen everywhere, but I'm just saying, some of that stuff is positive. I think we should take time to think about that. Kind of like a non-win-win situation. It's like, if you do something, it's going to have a ripple effect. It's going to affect negative in some places. It's going to be positive in some places. Like, I don't know.
On a positive note, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My fault. I'm going to say this and then we can transition to the next step. The reason why I say, and I stand by, like, defunding the police is simply going back to the little notion that I made about New York Police Department having $1 billion of income. It's like, my thing is this: if I'm looking at a budget and I have enough money to do what I need to do, fund my staff, get supplies, and be able to implement my job, all this extra money, especially with being a police officer, should be in the community. There's no reason why a police department overall should be generating $1 billion worth of revenue. For what?
Nobody's arguing against that, though.
Yeah.
No.
New York,
I'm just
New York is. New York is a kind of different. Just saying New York is a little different because it's like a lot of people. You need a lot more overtime.
I get that New York is different. You know what I'm saying? Crime rates are different, but I'm just saying in general, when you're looking at it from face value, like, I don't see why that one entity should be generating $1 billion worth of revenue. Period. Simply because, like, what a police officer is supposed to do is serve their societies or wherever they are. They are a servant of the community. So it's like, if my tax-paying dollars is going into your pockets to do what? Like, it's like, why isn't this money going into other programs? Because just as we want police to be reformed, there are other things in our communities that easily can be reformed. Like, just by a snap of the hand. Like, we talk about this all the time. If you want to get kids off the street in the summertime, why not open the gyms up longer? If you want to really utilize that money that we put into these police, why not have these police be at these rec centers, and you open up the rec centers for prolonged hours so that kids that potentially just be out on the block doing absolutely nothing can go somewhere in the afternoon. Or you extend these programs to these mothers and stuff. Like, utilize this money to actually help the community, because that is what police officers do. But all of that revenue necessarily going to that one specific spot, to me, that don't make sense. And I feel like defunding the police will do more help than harm. I get it. Like, a lot of people, when you hear that, you just like, well, you're going to get rid of the police department? No, we're not trying to get rid of the police department.
Defunding the police doesn't mean get rid of the police.
No.
But there's black people out there that's trying to say defund the police completely, and that's absolutely ludicrous to say defund the police.
Nobody's saying that. Yeah,
no, people are saying that. That's why we're here. People are saying that.
That's what I was saying. Like, people are saying that, and I'm just
we're not.
Defund does not mean we want to get rid of the police, nigga, because that's the ones who we gonna call when something happens. Like, but what we're saying is the overall revenue aspect of what's being given from taxpaying dollars that are going to the police departments should definitely be shortened, and it shouldn't even be a conversation about it. Like,
well, police and the military, but that's a whole nother conversation. Military,
but go back what you were saying, Ty.
Oh, give me a second.
Oh,
Jake, I put the glasses on and give us a Malcolm X on. I'll show you, brother. Hey, quick question. Because I ask people this all the time. Brandon, you said your mother was a Black Panther. Like, what hand signifies the black power? Are you supposed to do the right hand? Because I read Jesse Owens and shit, they did the Giants. But one of them did the left hand. If you go back and look at the picture, one did the left and one did the right because they was holding something in the hand. I forgot what it was.
Which is fine, but it's just like
I figured the right hand feels right.
Yeah, but it's just like men-to-men interaction. You don't shake a man's hand with your left hand because that's a sign of disrespect. Same dude.
I don't shake anybody's hand with the left hand unless I don't fuck with you.
But I'm just saying, like that's the I guess terminology or whatever behind it. Like,
stop shaking with the left because we gang bang.
You always.
We're not gang banging. We're trying to stop the gang banging. We're trying to.
But see, that's the thing though. Gangs, the origin was the gangs were used to police neighborhoods. That's where the Bloods and the Crips were originally created for in the West. They were created to police their neighborhoods. See, my thing is, I don't disagree with what Ty's saying, but my thing is when you think about it, and I'm not shitting on my own people. I'm not saying I grew up in the streets. I grew up on the block. That's not what I'm saying. But I lived in the hood. I know what goes on there. I'm not saying that, like, when I say generational curse, I don't mean it as in the sense of we do that shit because that's all we was taught. It's just that it's a lot harder to break a cycle like that when that's all you see.
But it's a lot harder to break
I feel you.
Some people don't have nobody there to tell them, hey, look, that's not for you. That's not a lifestyle you want to live. I live that. Or I seen people go down that road and I see where it ended. You're going to end up dead or in jail. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that for yourself. And it's like, everybody don't have that person for them. And it's like, when defunding the police does, is it allows more communities to be able to have people like that, or to have places where these youth can go and not have to worry about their life, their life. Their lives.
Yeah, aftercare programs, youth development programs.
Even at that, it just helps get them off the streets and give them a different outlook and perspective on things. Everybody don't have an OG that does that. Everybody don't have a dad or a mom or a family that cares about them to do that. So a lot of them have to grow up, and that's all they see. That's what they're gonna get used to. That's what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We all know a friend that fell victim to the streets. Either they started selling dope on the streets. They was always running the streets. They went to jail. They died. We all know somebody like that, and it's just like, damn, what if they had what I had? What if they had that one person that was like in my ear telling me, nah, this ain't what you want? You know what I'm saying? Or if they had like a program or an opportunity or an event to go to that would change their life. That's all I was trying to say. And
nobody's disagreeing with that. I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. And I think that's why y'all keep getting me confused. Y'all keep thinking I'm disagreeing, but I'm talking about what if you get those people, and I'm saying that we have to hold each other accountable. So if we get those opportunities, and me and you, if you went on to graduate from Harvard, and I was a nigga that went to the same high school as you, went to the same college programs, the same rec programs, all that shit. You went to Harvard, I went to jail for 30 years. What you got to hold the person accountable. What went wrong? Why can't you just have a right mindset to stay straight? You got to hold everybody accountable. That's all my point is. I'm just saying once we get some more progress with this, then we got to look at ourselves as a people and figure out what we do wrong and how we can uplift each other. And that was my main point.
My bad, fellas.
I gotta talk for him. That's for later. I think we should get a song to transition out of these deep topics, like what I'm saying, just something quick, or just like something that transition us. But yeah,
let's go ahead. Let's move on to some new music, man. What we talking about? What's everybody been listening to lately? What's our go-to song or albums? I know it's been kind of crazy, kind of hard to listen to music for some people.
I'm be real. I haven't touched no music for real. I've been listening to that Uzi on shuffle the last like couple of weeks, bro. That Uzi is tough. That Lil Baby.
No music, but you've been listening to
that Lil Baby. Said no new music. I haven't touched any new music.
I just said what music you've been listening to.
I've been listening to New Toronto 3 tour. I've been really fucking with that.
Solid project.
Every time I turn on hit my music, that's the first thing I go to.
Yeah, I kind of been shuffling through. Kind of in this phase where I want to listen to a lot of rap music, so I just been listening to, like, Gunna's album Warner. I've been listening to, like, Lil Durk's project. I just got on like 42 Doug, No Savage, like a lot of.
You don't like Durk though?
No, I like it. No, I'm saying.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just got into it. I mean, I just been shuffling it around. I still got Brent Faiyaz's album still in heavy rotation. I love that album. It's like one
of you said heavy rotation. He said Brent Faiyaz. Brent Faiyaz.
Brent Faiyaz. I got him in heavy rotation. Also, Summer Walker's project, I still listen to her a lot, but that's new here. Key Glock.
I've been listening to Glock. I ain't listening to Key Glock yet. Lil Baby shit, I keep listening to that shit. The deluxe album.
Lil Baby shit hard.
Gunna shit. Actually, I believe this is his best project.
Still haven't heard the Herbal album.
Yeah, I haven't even tried to listen to that shit.
We listened to G Herbo on the way to Master.
I'm talking about. I was high and I was asleep, so I didn't hear it. But yeah,
y'all okay?
I'll play another. I listen to another.
I'm good.
No,
y'all have to check out this nigga Tootsie, man. Tootsie is
Tootsie.
If you like Durk, go ahead and listen to Tootsie. Oh, man. I don't know all that, but
what happened?
Y'all listen to Durk.
I thought I saw a video. Somebody said he got beat up. I mean, I didn't think it was him. I just wasn't sure. I haven't listened to any.
I've been listening to 48 Doug. Doug been taking over Twitter. So I thought it was 42 Doug. 48, 42, whoever, 45 seconds.
Don't say you listen to nobody and you got the name of the nigga name wrong.
I don't know his name. I just started listening to him like day before yesterday, bro. Because I seen him.
You just said you ain't listening to him. You wildin'.
No, I just started listening like day before yesterday. Him and what was that? Moneybag, they was on the song together.
Seems like we not that into music, so there's shit going on. We ain't been really listening to new music. So do we want to try this new segment for the people?
Yeah.
Once we get it started,
this will get spicy. This will get spicy.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's listening. First of all, hold up. I know we kind of far into it. I just want to say thank you all for listening, joining us for the first episode. Yes. Whether it's 10 of y'all or 100, I appreciate all y'all. We're going to keep the content coming. Let us know what y'all would want to hear or how we should improve for later.
Yes, please. Constructive criticism is very important. If we don't hear from y'all, then we don't know what we're doing wrong and what we need to improve on. We can't get better like that. So please.
And I mean, it's going to be eventually. It's going to transition to in person. Like,
no, we know
in front of us in person. Like,
figure it out right now.
Check it out. We got a new segment.
We got to be holes about it.
We want to try with y'all. It's called On the Block with That. So, Tyler, go ahead and explain to the good old people what we're going to try to do for them with this segment.
All right, this segment is called On the Block with That. It's 4 of us. We all going to have one hot tape, 7 seconds to get your shit off, 7 seconds to explain why you think what you think is right. After that 7 seconds, the next person to go, everybody will go. And after everybody go, we vote and choose who's on the block with that. Whoever's on the block, they gotta do a challenge. The three people who win come up with. Whoever has the worst one, everybody gonna say you on the block.
Basically, like whoever has the most like outlandish statement.
Yeah, like, whoever met the wildest one, the one that like, what the fuck did you just say out your mouth?
So you said 7 seconds to
7 seconds to get your shit off. 7 seconds to say what you gotta say.
I don't need an argument, nigga. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say, and that's it. You don't like it? Hey, I'm gonna start it off. Fuck that. Tupac overrated, fam. The shit. His beats, some of the beats is not that good. Hey, y'all, I know he was for the people and shit, but the shit, this nigga's overrated. Biggie is better. Go ahead.
Wait, what?
What?
Biggie is better.
Biggie?
Okay,
yeah,
no,
Biggie,
he's
man.
right. I like that.
Diggy.
Yeah.
Oh, Biggie.
Biggie.
I thought he said Iggy. No, I said, get the fuck. Cancel him. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm not gonna say
agree.
shit that I don't think is true. I mean, I'm not gonna say no wild shit.
I agree.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, Brian, it's on you.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's on me. No, it ain't on me.
All right, whoever
It's
got
on
it,
you.
just go. Fuck it, let's go.
I think Kendrick Lamar is a better rapper than Jay-Z. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been sitting down a lot, been thinking about a lot of things.
I want to change I'm gonna change my shit because I already told that every time. No, fuck that. Drake misses. Y'all keep capping like Drake don't miss. He makes bad songs. Yes, he do. Oh my God. Summer Games. Anybody go check the album. Was that Scorpion? Please go listen.
Bro, you had 7 seconds. You had 7 seconds.
That Fortnite ass song. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Nah,
Okay.
I changed. Fuck
You know what?
I fuck with you.
You're right.
You make bad songs.
We can't debate or argue about their hot takes, so that's cool. It's just funny that you say that. This song might not be for you. Just like Sasuke by Lil Uzi Vert, not for me. It's for you. It's not for me. Every song.
But I can say you make bad songs.
All right, fuck that. It's my turn. I've been saying this the whole time. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum.
He needs time out. Mute his motherfucking mic right now. What you talking about? Bro, don't say that, bro. You gonna unmute yourself? Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. This is ridiculous. This is
you
on the motherfucker.
He's bigger. He plays better defense. He can still score the ball. Bro, Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum, bro.
The mitigated gall.
But just to be clear,
you're wrong. Fuck.
Yes, you are.
And I'm a Celtics fan. What are you talking about?
So the question is, who on the block?
I didn't say mine.
Brandon didn't
go.
go.
I'm sorry.
Fat nose ain't go. Come on, Mo.
Hendrix is Future's best album.
That's not a hot take because I agree. Like,
hold on.
No, people say Dirty Sprite. People say Dirty Sprite 2
disappear. Oh my God!
People say DS2 is his best.
Y'all want like DS2 don't exist? Y'all want like DS2 don't exist?
I'm not. You agree with me when I say that's his best project sonically. You agree with me when he was in Chick-fil-A that day. Don't stop that shit, man.
Who, me?
You agree with that? Yeah, Donovan. When I said Hendrix might be one of his one of his best projects up there with DS2.
A solidified album.
Sounds good. I said that's true.
Solidified album. That is his best project.
But you didn't say that. You said best.
It's his best project.
This
is his best project.
Nah, I don't like
I listen to Hendrix like I listen to DS2. No, I'm not tripping. I'm gonna ask everybody and the followers. I'm gonna ask y'all make a poll on our Only the Real Instagram.
No, Brandon's tripping, not you. You all right. Brandon, you tripping. You're a Future fan. I can't believe you said that.
I love him.
He said it's his best project.
I can't believe you said that. You're a Future fan. You said that. But it's crazy because you be cranking Monster more than anything because you love Codeine Crazy. So I don't know how you say that.
I do. I have a different love for Future's mixtapes than I do his albums, though. So
that's a project, so you cannot say that.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Okay, well, my fault. Hendrix is his best album. I apologize.
No,
I didn't
switch it.
I'm talking about his albums. I'm sorry, my fault. It's his best album. I should say album. My fault. Hendrix is his best album.
All right. Question is, who on the block?
Your ass.
Statement?
The fuck?
Oh, you said Drake don't miss. Drake
does.
misses.
You said Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, you on the block. You on
Is
the
if you can make the hot, all right. If everybody hot take about music, I make mine about music. I change.
No, it don't have to be about music. No, it don't have to be about music.
It's just hot. It's a hot
yeah. But we can do a hot take.
You're not on the block. You're on the fucking. You're on the way to the fucking tunnel because you got a
corner son of ass. Because you
just got a 6 foul in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left. You ejected. You gone. Take your jersey off, nigga. You gone.
So I'm on the block.
No, you're not on the block. You're in the locker room.
G League.
Dang.
The application for the G League, bro.
And you got a $10,000 fine for that dumb shit you just said.
That's crazy.
So what's fellas?
I mean, once we put this out, I promise you, once we put this out, fans will probably think differently. But you are on the block,
man. Fuck them. So what's the challenge? What we doing? Let's come up with a challenge, fellas. What we doing? What do you got to do?
Boy said Jalen.
I mean, we got to record it so we got proof that this nigga did it.
I mean, after y'all decide
whatever
the
our challenge is, he has to post a video. He has to trade the video, whatever we tell him to do, and then post it on our
and put it on the podcast page. Yes, sir.
Make
sure y'all follow us on that podcast page.
So we're gonna do the poll. Are we doing a poll to ask
we don't know what to make him do right now.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question. Maybe we should come back and come with that.
I mean, y'all can talk about it when y'all do. I'll post it.
Niggas pussy.
I can't really think of nothing right now. What am I make them do? Drop a bucket of ice water on his head?
All right. So when y'all decide, let me know. I'll post it on the.
He got a bathtub. He got some shorts. He can pour a bucket of ice water on his head.
We can do a bucket of ice water like the ALS challenge.
He gotta dye his first two braids pink.
Oh, I like that one. No, I like that one. That's cool because you're on the block.
We're not there yet.
Pink.
You do like Dennis Rodman, though. You do like Dennis Rodman.
Sorry, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow.
Oh, you can't get my man can get his hair wet. Then you gotta get his haircut tomorrow. All right, little fucker. We'll come up with it. We'll put it. We'll
come up with something off script and
we'll post a video.
You'll post it,
yeah. Media and shit. Let y'all know. But yeah, let us know whatever segments y'all want us to do. If y'all want us to hit y'all to some new music, not just new music like popular music, but some stuff that y'all probably don't know about that we listen to. And yeah, I think this went very well, fellas. So we're gonna wrap it up here.
All right,
definitely.
Dang.
Wrap it up then.
Can we? Oh, before we leave, can we have a moment of silence for that shit that Ty said? Because I don't know what the fuck.
Oh wow!
Shit! Hey yo, fam! I was about to say, why you ain't saying shit when we talking about the Black Lives Matter shit, bro? Like, come on, man. Hey, that was good. That was good. I fuck with that.
Yeah, I thought you about to say something like for real, like
all right.
You see my jaw? Pause.
We'll catch y'all next time. Make sure you copy paste, put it on your Insta story, all that. Like gang signs. Let me stop playing. Let me chill out.
Crack you back your neck. You get another cut. And then, hey, y'all don't know about that URL stuff. Hey, that's what we got to talk about next time. URL stuff. That's URL. Hey, we got to have a whole topic about battle rap and stuff. That'll be tough. We talk about that all the time, y'all. That'll be tough. Hey, but till next time.
Just got to make sure it's smack. Don't copyright us.
Peace.
Till next time. Holla at y'all.
Holla at y'all.